And then they cherry-pick data from individual facets of countries in order to make their point. Like Nicaragua's literacy program. Okay, why don't you talk about their GDP?
That's amazing.
How would I know which
That's
one I was?
incredible.
No, because
that is the most stupid thing ever said by a human being.
Now, do I seriously need to explain to you why it is that a country needing a literacy program has a low GDP? You know what, I'm going to give you a hint here and show the direct correlation between their literacy rate and their GDP.
Canada's nationalized healthcare system? Why don't you talk about the crushing debt in the Supreme Court case that ruled it a violation of human rights in 2005?
Wait, why aren't we interested in GDP anymore?
And then they cherry-pick data from individual facets of countries in order to make their point.
But of course, human rights violations are much more of a concern than GDP. So maybe you've got something here. Let's look at this case. So an abridged version of the story is that the 73-year-old man had suffered several health issues, and because of these health issues, he was suffering through extremely long wait times because the Medicaid system in Canada was severely underfunded, and he was denied the access to private health insurance because it had since been outlawed by Quebec. This prohibition made it impossible for his doctor to offer his services as a private hospital. And so it was decided that this was a violation of his human right to assistance, as stated in the Quebec Charter of Human Rights. Now, unless you agree that humans have the right to assistance if their life is in peril, then this court case should be irrelevant to you. Bringing this up as a smoking gun against single-payer health insurance is incredibly dishonest.
And then they cherry-pick data from individual facets of countries in order to make their point. Sweden? It's now the rape capital of the Western world.
I'm slowly starting to understand your animosity towards the public school system. It's becoming increasingly obvious to me that you are illiterate, which I suppose would be pretty good reason to hold grudges against the public education system. It obviously failed you. As someone who can read, however, let me explain to you what that article was actually saying. The article was saying that we put too much value in statistics, especially in these situations where in civilized societies we're able to more closely monitor the reports of rape. However, these reports go towards the statistics, not just conviction, which presents a real problem when we look at the rape laws of Sweden. Swedish rape laws are so ridiculously written that almost any sexual encounter can be classified under rape. How would one define illness, for example, or mental disturbance? And even just circumstances in general. Because of this, it's no wonder that there are going to be more reports of it in Sweden. And even if there aren't as many convictions as there are reports, that doesn't matter, because as the article says, reports go towards statistics, not conviction.
On the verge of cultural and economic collapse. Good for you, Sweden. You finally pulled one out.
Yeah, if Sweden is going to be suffering economic collapse anytime soon, we are just completely fucked.
Couple of things here. Under Bernie Sanders, noted Democratic socialist, the middle class would pay more. A lot more. Yeah, if you're making $50,000 a year, you'd be paying over $5,000 more a year, so there's that.
Not according to the Tax Policy Center.
What if I don't want to go to college? What if someone decides, again, human nature, out of their own free will to take that job cleaning septic tanks that millennials refuse to do and he gets paid well? Why should he be taxed more to fund your decision to college?
Under Bernie's plan, he wouldn't be, unless he were buying stocks. And even if he were, the tax rate would be 0.5%. That means for every $500 you spend in stocks, you have to pay $2.50. That's it. And you have more people researching the technology that you use daily and actually building upon it.
And the reason for this contract is because, unlike the business owner, creator, innovator, you decided to forego the risk in order to receive financial security. It's a choice you made. You didn't start the business. You didn't risk your...
Yeah, you're right. I mean, everybody just pretty much has the exact same opportunities, because I definitely have had all of the opportunities that Warren Buffett has had. And because I didn't start the company, I shouldn't have a high quality of life or a livable wage.